So a few days ago, I've been reading this article which says that if the Apple Vision Pro fails, the market for virtual reality and mixed reality is dead. And it further states that, currently Apple has poor sales figures, increasing returns, and just a difficult start. And since the Vision Pro is a technically impressive device, if that doesn't work, then maybe it won't work at all. So they say that there are no meaningful use cases, no killer applications, and just a fascinating technology is just not enough for some kind of XR device to go mainstream and also to just have, general use cases. And also currently states here that while Meta and Oculus, they are investing a lot into the metaverse and the Oculus headsets, that also they do have a really hard time because they invest a lot of money while still just experiencing a very slow growth. And there are also other articles here that state something very similar. So this one, for example, says, okay, the Quest depends on the Vision Pro as Facebook or Meta has a hard time to just push XR themselves despite pouring 50 billion into research and development. So not such a great outlook there. Hey, what's up and how's it going? My name is Toby, and in today's video I want to discuss with you guys whether AR can become mainstream or if it may already be a failing market as some of these news articles state. So first of all, let's talk about the failing market, because I think this is quite an easy one. AR is definitely not a failing market, and we can already see that it's being used within a wide range of use cases, but they are rather in the business or industry sector. So for example, there is Porsche, which is this German luxury car manufacturer that is using the Vision Pro for something like production or also product design for training. So this is pretty awesome, and I think this is already being used quite in a lot of companies, because this kind of 3D visualization is great for any kind of product or 3D design, 3D development. And especially in a industrial or business context, it really makes a lot of sense, since those, $4,000, 4,000 euro devices, this is a big amount of money for a private person, but for a business that may actually make money with it, or that has a lot more expensive machines and devices standing out there in their production halls, this is actually not that big of a purchase. So I would say that in this regard, XR headsets like the Vision Pro are already being used also for something like support within craftsmanship, let's say, or for example for after sales. This is being used too by some companies. And this is what I saw, which is quite interesting within the surgical sector. So being used by some kind of, in some kind of medical context. And I would also say that this is here a no-brainer, that, the current disadvantages of those XR headsets are not really a big disadvantage, in this kind of use case. Also, some kind of recent video by NVIDIA showed how someone would just steer a robot using the Vision Pro. And this is also some very interesting future use case. And of course, AR is also already being used on smartphones with games like Pokemon Go, but also in other use cases like this one, for example, where you can just fit on shoes. And this also seems to be something that, in my opinion, will probably grow a lot in the future. So this kind of e-commerce-based augmented reality. So if AR is a failing market, or if AR will fail, I think we can safely say that it will not, that AR is here to stay, and that it indeed has a lot of use cases. However, what I do slightly agree upon is, at least at the current state of augmented reality and AR headsets, the problem is that they are currently either too expensive, or they are lacking some kind of killer features, or they maybe are simply too heavy to wear. They are not really made for wearing them in the public, in the day-to-day life. And so in today's video, I want to discuss also what needs to be done or what should happen so that augmented reality and AR headsets might become the mainstream, so that people in their day-to-day life will start using them, will seeing the benefit of them, and not only enthusiasts like us will continue to use and play with them. So for a successful AR strategy, we'll need hardware as well as software. So let's first of all talk about the hardware. So there are some AR headsets that I currently do like a lot, at least the idea of them. And this is the spectacles from Snapchat and as well as the X-Real glasses. And the reason for that is they do aim at a very lightweight headset, and they also make a separation. They do not have virtual reality and augmented reality in one headset, but they rather have only AR. Therefore, though, they do not have this, this kind of clunky, big and heavy setup with just this pass-through through cameras, but they have actual glasses that you can look through, and kind of the AR effect or the 3D objects are just being projected onto the glasses like this. And I would think that this kind of approach might be the better one, at least for the beginning, because the screen that is being built in all of these XR headsets, and the built-in processing power, as well as all of the cameras that are used for this pass-through quality, they make the headset pretty big, pretty expensive, but just for augmented reality, it is not really needed, right? So you could just reduce the amount of hardware needed and the heaviness of the headset. And what X-Real is doing in addition is they also kind of outsource the processing. And this is, for me, a bit like a no-brainer, because the Apple Vision Pro is already outsourcing the battery, right? So you have just this battery strap on the Vision Pro that will power it. So why not also include a processor in there and make the headset a lot lighter and easier to use? And I would think that this kind of separation, at least in the beginning phase where the technology is, not on the point where we can just fit all of these in a lightweight headset, it might be a good idea. And also maybe wireless technology can be used for this. So let's imagine that the AR glasses would have some kind of battery built in, some kind of small wireless chip, and some kind of SSD. It could also work that it will just transmit all the image data to an external device, and this would do all the processing and maybe send the image back to the AR glasses. So there would also be this kind of chance to even go wireless, but still outsource the computational heavy stuff. And I would say that, this kind of approach would be something that is a lot more fitting towards the mainstream. Also, for example, I think X-ray glasses is about $600 or $700. So this is a lot cheaper than something like the Vision Pro, but maybe it would even be possible to go lower than that, something like $500. And so this would still create a great value. And I also claim that especially for a company like Apple, let's say, if they would release something like Vision Air, let's say, that would be similar to this X-Real AR glasses. It could work with all kinds of Apple devices like the iPads, iPhones, MacBooks, whatever. And they would even have one more case of their ecosystem, pushing that. So if you want to have this headset, you would need at least some kind of other Apple device to connect to. And for Android or for other manufacturers, they could just include some kind of power device, so some kind of small computer that you could just connect this to, and so you would have this kind of connection, or make it compatible with some kind of recent Android phones, let's say. So this would also be a great idea, in my opinion. And you could have some kind of app like you do have with an Apple Watch or with some kind of smart accessory, where you could just open the app on your phone. You could then install software and then just use it basically on the device. So this would be hardware-wise, this would be something that would probably be very suitable for a lot of people in the mainstream. And going down with the price, this would probably also increase just the sales and the interest in buying some kind of headset. So hardware is of course only half of the calculation, and we do need some awesome software to, well, have people use this every day and maybe just don't have the device laying around on the table collecting dust, but actually use it on a day-to-day basis, seeing the true value in it. And what I experienced when using XR devices is often that one problem is still this kind of isolation that you have, right? So it's all something you do by yourself or do alone. You can do some kind of video chatting, of course, online. But if you have some other people in the same room with you, then as soon as you put on the headset, well, you're kind of isolated, even though you might have, this kind of pass-through and all of that. You cannot really show them what you're doing. You cannot, do something with them together, even if those people might have a phone or something like that. And maybe they do not have a headset. So this is definitely a problem in my opinion. So what I would think would greatly enhance the experience with some kind of AR glasses is to have shared apps that are good on your phone, but even better with the AR glasses. So for example, if you play some games, it should be possible to play those games on your phone as well as on your AR device and to do some kind of shared AR, right? So to have a game that someone can participate on with the phone, but you can also play on the device. And I think that Niantic has here some kind of great ideas. So to build some kind of spatial experiences that work everywhere, so that can be used on the Vision Pro, but also on the smartphone, so that kind of this shared experience has the first priority, and that you don't feel so isolated when wearing those AR glasses. So I do really like this demo here, for example, from the Lightship AR YouTube channel, just showing some people with, some kind of AR prototype glasses that also seem to connect with your phone, having some kind of shared experience and participating in each other's game. So this is like kind of a prototype, or this is kind of the direction that I would say if we go further this way, this is really something that can make AR go mainstream and be something where a lot of people just would be interested in doing this. So something else that is really important in my opinion is that we'll need some real spatial versions of the apps that people use day to day. This would be some kind of social media, Netflix, some kind of e-commerce stores that will further push on not only making AR effects possible. So for example, Effect House, or we had this Lens Studio in some kind of prior video from Snapchat. Let's quickly bring it up here. That allow you to create AR effects for Snapchat or some kind of AR filters, but actually transforming the app itself into a spatial experience. For example, experiencing those AR filters on your AR glasses, but then also making it easier to capture spatial video with your standard phone and then to share it in spatial version. So if, for example, there would be a spatial version of YouTube where you would not only have this 360-degree video, but actually, kind of this spatial 3D video that Apple showed in their demos. I think they also showed somewhere here. This would be something that could be really, really cool. Yeah, something like this. So this kind of panoramic view and maybe even more advanced. So having just those day-to-day apps working in some kind of spatial version, especially also e-commerce, having, a e-commerce store where you go on the website and then it will just basically build up in your room and you can walk through the store, you can look at those objects that you can buy in real 3D, touch them, move them around, test them out, kind of. That would be something that would get people probably to buy and use an AR glasses or AR headset. And so the next big thing that is needed for AR to go mainstream, in my opinion, are just the creation tools. So this is always important, just to make it easy for people to create content that is worth watching or experiencing on an AR glasses. So Apple, for example, has this reality kit, and they do have toolkits like this reality composer that is working on iOS and iPad OS. And they also have some more advanced tools that are designed to aim towards developers, like the Reality Composer Pro. And in my opinion, we need just more of it. We need to make it easier to create content. This would be, on the one hand, creating spatial content, so something like 3D videos that would be worth sharing on some kind of spatial social media, let's say, and also some kind of developer tools that would allow people to create AR content immediately on device, let's say. And this could even become some kind of autonomous marketplace itself. And so one creation tool that I find very cool is just Scaniverse here. This also belongs to Niantic, and this allows you to create this Gaussian splats, so this kind of, well, real-looking 3D scan of your environment. And I would say that it are these tools that also greatly would push and enhance your experience within some kind of AR headset. All right, so let's come back to this article that I put up in the beginning, with which stated that, well, if the Vision Pro fails, the market for VR and MR is dead. So I disagree. I strongly disagree. I think that there's already a market for augmented reality, which is more niche, which is more in the industrial and business arena. And for the mainstream, it is still on the phone. So still things like Pokemon Go, like AR games maybe, and something like in the e-commerce. But again, this is still niche. But I would say that if we would get some kind of more mainstream-oriented device that is more lightweight, that is cheaper, that has better integration with the software as discussed, I would guess that we would see a lot of people using those AR glasses, wearing them in public. And you also have to consider kind of the social implications, right? So many people also buy their phone for aesthetical reasons. And so people will only start wearing glasses in public if they actually look cool, if they look like normal sunglasses, and if you don't look like a super nerd running around with your Vision Pro in just the city center. And so in my opinion, it's just a matter of time until augmented reality becomes mainstream. It does have a lot of advantages. It makes things more interactable, more spatial, more exciting, and it also has the ability to just get us outside and be more social again, just not isolating us in a digital world, but just still socialize and interact with the people around us, in combination with interacting with the digital world. And I think this is just an amazing opportunity, and we all have this kind of chance to participate in it, right? So a lot of people watching this might be interested in AR software development or are already trying out things in AR, and we are the ones who then are responsible for actually creating great software, for pushing this market and for making it become mainstream, and just making the world a better place. So what do you guys think? Do you think that AR will become mainstream? Do you have some kind of different take on it? Please write it in the comment below and let's discuss about that. But until then, thanks a lot for watching and see you next time.